They say they about the culture, but really, they just want to show they ass. Yo, these niggas bugging. They ain't really saying nothing, just hustling. Walk around, looking sus, and it's all just disgusting. Ew. These rappers make me sick, please pass the ball to cussing. He said it's Spike E, man, get up off your knees. I believe I can fly, but first I gotta pee. He was such a G, king of flipping games, rocking the cat bar, and I come sit with his pain, another soul down the drain. He was really just a lame, but the cult of personality is difficult to tame. Just a drug in the vein, the whole world is insane. They all swallowed up, and to me it's just a shame, and it's sad. It's academics and it's glad. We run until our business got the nerve to get mad. It be about the bag, little lawsuit is a drag. Like a politics, they say my nigga is a, come on. I'm saying we gotta do better, you know what I mean? Tell me about it. Niggas out here talking about peeing on each other and shit. Peeing on each other type shit, you know what I mean? Trying to make that shit sexy out there. Ain't nothing sexy about that. Ain't talking about they booty hole and shit. That's what we at. They booty hole. That's how we gonna raise the baby, yo. Yo, let's do better, yo. Hang around the cesspool, you're bound to get shit on. So many play themselves just to try to get on. All captivated, caught up in a trance. This life is like a party and the devil wanna dance and you do the hustle. Now you wanna tussle and rustle. You had the records, but you ain't had the muscle to get you for your publishing. Now you caught up in the shuffle. Said you was getting the bag, but all you got was ruffles. Plus the internet's undefeated. What I see, you can read it. Power's a drug and these people need it. If you deep it really ain't no secret. They want you for your soul, you gotta fight to try to keep it. Michael tried to tell us, but we told him beat it. And they took back his catalog like we all didn't see it. I can't believe it, or be it. What you sow, you receive it. We gotta do better if the future's gonna see it. Telling y'all, y'all better get y'all act together. They ain't playing around. Say it in a minute, they just gonna cut it. Shit. Man, shit done changed this motherfucker. Whole new shit going on. What up, Lenny?
Hey, Richie!
Yo. Yeah. You know what it is. I was raised on rap, made me a king like Simmel. Beat that's fat. Without the back band, just DJ mic stand. Before I wrote rhymes, I was the ill hype man. With flavor, I became a... Understand the test, now I'm on the net trying to find my tribe on the quest. Now it's so plain, it all sounds the same. Back then we opened doors, completely changed the game. Everybody copies and bites this the style. Back then when rappers bitch your shit, they pulled you out. Now it's about the fag, applauding for the haters. Back then it was about to brag and people catching papers. Everybody indie making money off streaming. Back then you was at the label trying to catch them leaving. It's a shame people don't miss it till it's gone. I'm shocked rappers nowadays sing the same song. Where we go wrong, the whole culture act like sheeple. I guess the root of evil captivates the people. Daddy make them do mad tricks like Knievel. I'm the king of rock and the king of diesel. It's ludicrous how fake these niggas CeeLo. They smoke up all your weed and have you fighting Devo. Time for some action, get the bling, you make a milli. Put 5 on the Jackson, rap is so vanilla. Oops, I mean vanilla. Hold on there, fella. I'm a nigga with an attitude, wrecking fools like I'm yellow. Quiet as kept, y'all got the jokes, pin and teller. But I lounge with lyricists underground like cellar dwellers. Rappers can't see me, it's like in this for Helen Keller. Once you check the method to get you high like propellers. Now it's so plain, it all sounds the same. Back then we opened doors, completely changed the game. Everybody copies and bites this the style. Back then when rappers bitch your shit, they pulled you out. Now it's about a fag, applauding for the haters. Back then it was about to brag and people catching papers. Everybody indie making money off streaming. Back then you was at the label trying to catch them leaving. Yo, where my check, nigga?
checks in the mail. I'm going to need you to calm down a bit. There seems to be a stipulation in your contract. Please.
Yes, yes, yes. This is Hakim Green, Channel Live and direct. BDP all day, every day. All we do is spark madism with Dr. Coach Eric Harry L.
Peace, good brother Hakeem Green. How you doing on this wonderful Wednesday?
Yeah, man, I'm doing good, man. You know, special edition Madism Sports.
Yes, sir.
Usually we rock out on Tuesdays. Actually, it was supposed to be the end of the season yesterday, but we didn't do yesterday. Actually, it was supposed to be last week.
Last week, yeah.
We were supposed to do a special show yesterday, do a draft recap, but things happened, got out of sorts a little bit, so we decided to rock out today. You know, we do our daily text thread. And you know, some of my guys got the joke. So, you know what I mean? I figure, you know, we could catch up on the jokey jokes, you know. But before we get to the draft, wanted to talk about Caitlin Clark in the WNBA. There's a lot of talk about her being underappreciated by her colleagues in the NBA.
Yes.
How, you know, she gets a lot of she gets the business on the court, if you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of extra funny business, a lot of, you know, it's the physicality kind of steps up when it comes to D'ing up Caitlin Clark. Ironically, from, you know, a few of the white players kind of taking it to her. Hard kicks, hard fouls, you know. And that's
they feel underappreciated as well. Because, you know, they've laid the groundwork. They've done work over the years. A lot of them, and they feel underappreciated. So I get it. I get it. You know, it'd be your own kind.
It'd be your own people, is it, right? It'd be your own people. Yeah.
I think what's most shocking about all of everything that's going on, there was just a poll, and she was ranked like the 9th best guard in the league.
Yeah, well, that's where I was going with that.
Yeah, and, like, all right, come on now, y'all taking it too far.
Well, I saw that, and then I initially was like, yo, they wilding, what are they doing? But then somebody did the stat comparison, and she hasn't really been playing Caitlin Clark basketball.
That's like, the crazy part. Yeah.
Right. So, you know, in terms of what's going on this year.
Yeah. She's right. Yeah. She's right where she should be.
She's right where she should be. So, you know, that's like, you know, we kind of we play favoritisms, you know, when you got the complexion for the protection of the collection.
Mm-hmm.
And she comes in the league with so much fanfare, so much, you know, criticism. You know, it's like she's what do you call it? A firebrand topic. You know, she kind of so we kind of give her the benefit of the doubt. But like I like to say, there is no benefit in doubt. So when you check the stats, you see what it really is. And when they did that, it's like, okay, she's right where she needs to be. And no, they weren't shading her. But still, you know, this is her second year in the league, and she's already a top 10, you know, point guard, top 10, top 20 player in the league. So she's still doing her thing.
Yeah, you know? Yeah. I think she's where she's supposed to be. I just think last year was such an anomaly. You know, she was tearing things up. But we talk about this all the time with football, particularly, you know, that rookie year when somebody really having great stats, then that second year, we call it a slump. No, it's not necessarily a slump. It's film. It's scouting report. It's all those things that start to come into play. And with her, particularly this year, she also has had some injuries, you know, so she hasn't had that consistency to get in that rhythm where, you know, last year she was just coming out. And I would think some defenders had some doubt, she can't shoot from that deep, or, you know, she's not going to pull that jump shot, you know, so those things happen. But I think she is where she belongs off of, like you said, off of stats and play. Now, when you start bringing in those other components of what she means to the league as far as selling out arenas and all that.
hmm
That's different. That's a different ranking system.
Yeah, and just I don't want to say I'm a fan of Caitlin Clark, but I do highly respect her game.
Yeah.
I highly respect her work ethic, um, and I just hey, what's up, Kai?
What's up,
Hold
Kai?
on. Hey, what's going on? 1 second. Let me just turn my Bluetooth on. I'll be right back.
Okay,
Hey, I
um,
respect that Kai came on with that Brooklyn Nets shirt on. He truly loves the Nets, boy.
Uncle Spliffy,
Yeah. What's
What
good?
up, Cliff?
what's
What up,
happening,
Coach?
man?
Going on?
What we on? What we on now? We on those Knicks yet?
Nah, not yet. We talking about Caitlin Clark.
What
Nick,
we talking
Nick's
about?
doing big things. Nick doing big things. But let's hold off on that. We talking about Caitlin Clark, WNBA, how she was ranked the number 9th point guard in the league. Some people are saying, she's getting shaded by her colleagues. She's not getting her due respect. Coach and I just recognized that, given her stats and how she's playing this year, 9th is kind of where she needs to be.
I was getting ready to say that.
Yeah.
I was definitely getting ready to say that. I was like, wait a minute, because she was balling last year, and it was a much different Caitlin last year, particularly the end of last year, because she was giving it to everybody. This year, she can barely shoot. I mean, I've been watching her. She is not the same chick.
She hasn't found her rhythm
No.
this year. And like I said before you hopped on with scouting report. They know how to be physical with her. They understand that she has range and will pull from anywhere, so they're not giving her that space.
Hold on 1 second. Hold on. Big shout out to official DJ Dice. Red Man's DJ, Red and Meth's DJ. My guy, he's in the building. Salute goes out to you. It was great seeing you out in Jersey at Rock the Bells this past weekend. That was a great look. Dice is my brother. He's always breaking. New Hakim Green, new channel live. Everybody on the IG. Big shout out to y'all. Thank you for tuning in. Dice, we're going to get you on IZM Sports very, very soon. I'll reach back around shortly so we can lock that in. DJ Dice, legendary DJ.
Salute.
Salute. Yeah.
So there we go.
Coach, let me ask you about this. What do you think about the fact that her team plays so much better with her this year? When she's not playing, like last night, I thought they were going to get blown out by the Lynx, to be honest with you. And then particularly because Caitlin wasn't playing again. I was like, they're undermanned or whatever. If they were full strength, maybe they have a shot.
Underwomaned.
Underwomaned.
Underwomaned. Under them.
God.
You know what I mean?
Not how about not at full strength, okay? but you look at every game, Coach, and they legitimately play much better without her this year.
Yeah.
It's not even close.
Yeah, and I think I think that team actually is starting to come into their own as a team, and I figured they would do that, because they were young before Caitlin got there, and adding her was just another young piece, So I just think they're growing together, and it's like with any real superstar, especially one that can shoot like she can. You start to watch. You watch a lot when you got a player like that on the court, and she has the ball in her hands. It's like with Luca. You just gonna watch Luca. Yo, what he gonna do? What he gonna do? I think it's the same thing with her. And the other part with her is you actually gotta be looking for the pass. So you watching because you looking for the pass, not necessarily that you're watching what she's gonna do as far as scoring the ball. Because she will hit you in the head, or it'll go out of bounds, or whatever the case may be.
Yeah, that's fine.
Just like Luka, because Luka's a pass guy too.
He can't pass, but he passes with 4 seconds on the shot clock.
How's her defense though? Is she like Luka in that regard?
Not She's not Luca in that regard.
Okay.
You know.
But she's still light.
Yeah,
She still
there's
hasn't
not much to
picked
be
up
desired.
enough weight. You know what I mean? They still throwing her around a little bit.
They
Yeah.
definitely throwing her around. You
Mhm.
know.
Now I want to talk about the other big name in the WNBA, which is Angel Reese. But so she gets
She
everybody got
balling, yo.
jokes. Everybody got jokes. Me bound and
Nah, she's balling, bro.
thank
She
you,
is
Cliff.
balling.
I was gonna say that.
She
Yeah, thank
is
you.
balling, bro. I mean, like,
Thank
She
you.
is
she
balling
ain't the
right
best
now.
of shooters, so she gonna get me bounds. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
the thing is, she's getting those bounds and she's getting better at shooting, and you can
Yeah.
see it because a lot of these past games, these shots are legitimate. She's working on it.
Yeah.
She's balling, yo.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
she's playing really well. Reason I
She really
started
is.
laughing is because of the meme I put in the chat right before of her new sneakers.
Yeah,
Oh,
So
shh. Don't say
doubt.
that. We keeping that.
No
We keeping
doubt.
that under wraps. I got a crazy idea, Kai, and I think you knew I was going with that. That idea. I think that would win.
Yeah, I agree.
Yep.
but she's really been balling, man, and you can tell she's working on her game.
Yeah.
She's working on her
Yeah.
game.
I mean, the ability to grab offensive rebounds like that naturally is just undeniable. Like that's a skill. That's a
That
great
is a
talent.
skill. Yes.
So, hey,
Well, you have to.
she need to get with Hakim, man. Get that footwork together. She might be able to be something out here.
Well,
I mean, she is something.
I'll reach out to Mike Scott and tell her to get with me down here so I can teach her some things. Hakeem, right?
Let me say, Hakeem the Dream, Olajuwon. I'm sorry.
Well,
But she can get with you in the gym, though. She can
I'll smoke her out. You know what I mean? Me and Jasmine,
Oh man.
Off season.
Well, I think though, when we talk about, you talk about her ability to get offensive rebounds, I think we can directly link that to her aggression, and I think we have to go straight to Rodman, yo. He's like female Rodman as far as who else in the league is going to go after that ball more aggressive than her?
Yeah.
Nobody in the whole league. Like she's Rodman in that regard, yo. So yeah, she's got something, bro.
That's great. That's a great comparison, Cliff. And you know what? She Robin just all he wanted to do was get the rebound. He would throw it out. She gonna put it back up, and hey, she might make it, she might not, but she gonna go get it again. So
it's early to say, but can you imagine if her and Juju get together on the same team?
Well, it's Kai. You may say it's early, but they don't have the best record, so they're gonna have a shot at getting her.
Yeah,
that's right.
They will have a shot at getting her.
Your comparison to Dennis Rodman, Cliff, I think also highlights the unfairness in her criticism. In that everybody criticizes her and makes jokes on her and clowns her for not being the scorer that Caitlin Clark is. But we understood Dennis Rodman's role, and he was celebrated for that. And we was as much as Angel Reese is not, she's not picking up big numbers on the scoring side. Sometimes she does, though.
Well, she's growing. She's getting better.
Better on the offensive end, quote unquote, than Dennis was. Let me not say better, but she's adds more with her scoring than Dennis was. Right. But just in terms of the criticism that she receives and everybody clowns her, she's doing her thing.
Well, I think we all should recognize that the clowning all comes from envy. I mean, she's she's never going to be able to shoot like Caitlin Clark or whatever, but she's a baller. She knows how to she knows how to play the game, and she's getting better. And all of that hate is because of the green-eyed monster. Them being jealous of her. She's good looking. She's already a star. Her game is ascending. It's just all that's just envy.
And she's balling on and off the court because let me tell you something. And as you guys all know, deals with Reese's and Nike, I believe, or is it Reebok? And
she got the Reebok deal. Yeah,
Reebok. Everybody she's affiliated with, you have to have a savvy team and have to assemble a savvy team and have to have your thing together, especially to be
Yes.
no disrespect, to be a WNBA player and yield that
Yes.
type of, demand in the marketplace. He's balling on a lot of levels out.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but Reebok is Shaq, right?
Yes.
Shaq and AI.
Yeah.
Yeah. Come on,
Yeah.
man.
Yep.
You know Shaq is working with her, man. She's gonna be she will. She actually, and I never thought I would say this, she actually could some time in the future surpass Caitlin Clark, because if these teams and people or whatever continue to figure her out like they have so far, and she doesn't grow and ascend like we all thinking she will, we know Angel Reese will.
Yeah.
We know that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I mean, and she got Shaq behind her. Yo,
She got Shaq like Magic had Dr. Bus.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
And
when
that's
you
what
say,
that's what you need.
when you talk about the criticism against Angel Reese, Cliff, and you say it's jealousy, is it racism?
Absolutely.
Okay.
They don't want. I mean, but it's gonna always be that, because it's always gonna be her against Caitlin, and some of it is just not really racism. Some of it is just normal, and I'm talking about just bias, like my black girl, like we would do, my black girl, my white girl, whatever. But that's how the racists would do it if they don't know anything about the sport. So she is going to be Caitlin's adversary forever. That's just it. It's like Larry and like Rita Bird Magic. So it has to. It's gonna always start with race, unfortunately.
Well,
And let me ask y'all this. So remember, Angel beat Caitlin in college.
Yeah.
Won the national championship, similar to what Magic did to Bird. Yep. And so, who would we say had the better NBA career, Magic or Bird?
Magic.
So
All right,
five.
so, wait, no. All right, so but when you say justify that, clarify that, we say better NBA career in terms of team success or in terms of
let me
individual
definitely
success?
clarify.
He had both. Magic had both. That's why I don't think we compare.
But so did Bird.
Well,
No.
So did Bird. They had with 3 chips.
Magic got
He had
5.
5. Magic.
Yeah, but again, it's individual versus team, and this is where I'm going.
I know that, and what I'm saying is,
I think Magic.
I'm saying is they're somewhat equal. I'm saying they're somewhat equal, but because Magic has 5, and because Magic is undeniable on most ranks, on more levels in Magic as far as an all-time great, because Magic name comes out there sometimes as a little bit more than Bird.
When people give me their top 10, Bird is on that list way more than I hear Magic. And I'm not saying I have a preference. I'm not saying
I disagree. I disagree with that.
I disagree with that
too. Magic is in a lot of people's top 5.
Yeah.
No. All right,
and Bird's not.
I would say again, like because they were so linked coming out of college, and because they both did win chips, and it's like you get to a point where if you happen to be, Celtics was nothing to sneeze at, but like when they went head to head in the chip, what's that record?
I think 2-1, right? Lakers beat them twice, and
Bird won once, I believe.
One.
All right,
but come on, let's think about it though. Let's as far as 5-3. Magic is 1 chip away from doubling his. 1, 2. Magic stepped away because of AIDS, because of freak-offs, because of getting it in too much. Bird broke down fast.
He did break down.
Bro. Magic was better. It was Magic.
Where I was going with this.
Questioning that, but it's not who's better. Who had a better career?
Magic.
Magic had the better career. But,
all right, okay.
That's not what I wanted to actually debate. If they're on the same trajectory, which I believe that's what is being set up, the expectation would be for Angel to have the better career than Caitlin.
Not the way she looked last year, Coach. If you're watching the same thing I was watching, I thought
Right, but
Caitlin was gonna be woo.
Yeah.
I think to your earlier point, well, to all of our observation, Caitlin's not having the year she had last year, and from what you said, Cliff, it seems as if potentially Angel's only going to get better
Get
because
better.
of
Yeah.
right,
Yeah.
and Caitlin's going to not get worse, but with
She's going to level
schemes,
off. She's going to level off.
And just real quick to go to the top 75 list, as far as what the writers deem as the top, you have Jordan at number 1, LeBron at number 2.
Hold on. Kai,
Kareem.
something happened. I didn't hear you. What you say?
Kareem at number 3.
How long ago was that 75 list put out?
It was recently, right? It was like,
No, that was like the last five years ago. There was a lot happened in the last 5 years.
check it out though. So Magic is 4. I say that to say Magic was 4. Bird is 7. So even on the individual success, the writers deem Magic as being more successful than Larry.
Yeah, I just think Angel Reese has the greater upside in her game, just like I thought Magic had the greater upside in his game. Yeah. Remember, Magic couldn't really shoot. He could pass. He wasn't fast. He wasn't the best defender. He just had a greater upside. Bird came in the league deadly shooter. Could pass it. Rebound. He had all the skill set. So I just think Angel her upside is much greater than Caitlin's.
Yeah.
I mean, imagine if she.
I was just trying to ask a question and get to the nitty gritty. I wasn't debating. I don't have. At that point, my basketball fandom, I was a Dr. J fan.
Yeah.
And from Dr. J, I went Michael Jordan early, 1987, 88. I was Jordan.
That's late. I was a 1980s Jordan fan.
Yeah, I was still hanging on to Dr. J. I was still, them Sixer teams was something else back in the day.
Yes, they were.
Tony,
yes, they were. Andrew Tony,
Cunningham, Moses Malone, Darryl Dawkins.
Yep.
Chocolate Thunder, and later on Charles Barkley, but Mike, when he got into the league, man, it was like, and then when despite commercials, the Nike commercials, Air Jordans, hip hop, I was just all in with MJ.
Yeah.
And then this dude named LeBron just stepped in and squashed all of Kobe hopes from ever taking that spot. But that's another story.
Yeah, that's a good debate. That's a good debate.
It's another story. Okay, so we talked about Caitlin Clark. What else is there out there before we get to the draft?
Well, just before we get off the ladies, do not sleep on, or let's please give Nafisha Collier her flowers.
Yeah,
she's getting ready to win MVP, and she's
number 1, right?
Okay. She's doing her thing, so let's not talk about her because she's doing her thing, and give a little love to Paige Beckers because she's coming in kind of lighting it up too. So it's a good year in the W, yo.
I like
A'ja Wilson doing
more than Caitlin.
A'ja Wilson still balling, but not to the level she was last year. Like she was.
Well, she got a concussion, so she missed like 3 games.
That'll slow you down. That'll slow you down.
She's coming out of it, so she's not doing like
when did
last
that concussion
year.
Happen?
Huh?
When did that concussion happen?
About 2 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
And she missed that game, and it was like in the first half, and then she missed like 3 or 4 other games, but she's been back 2 games since. So, a little slow down.
Yeah, I think she's going to make a run, but Nafisa Collier is killing right now.
Killing them.
And she, oh man, she's killing. She's
on a mission though.
Yeah,
and they're balling. Their team is playing. They're balling. So they they lost last night, but I think they're like 14-3 or something like that. So
I think 14-2, or maybe 14-3 now. Yeah.
Okay, they're balling,
maybe. Yeah.
So Mike Brown is the new head coach of the New York Knicks. I like that.
I don't know how I feel about it yet.
I don't know either. I mean, like He's a good coach. I'm glad. I mean,
Great resume.
for a retread, you can't be mad at a 2-time coach of the year. A lot of people got a lot to prove. I mean, so they were right at the brink. It's a guy that has the ability to get him over the. I mean, so but I still don't really know how I feel about it as far as I was hoping for Jason Kidd, to be honest with you. I was hoping some magic was pulled off.
Yeah, I love Mike Brown's resume and what he's done. His pedigree, who he's coached with and under, and I love all that. I just don't have a feeling about it just yet. I really don't. I don't have a feeling about it. We'll see. I was expecting more, I guess, sizzle from the hire. I really,
Yeah, I think they were running out of options because, any of the coaches they may have wanted are already, they are already somewhere, and the teams wouldn't give permission for the Knicks to interview them, so they weren't getting out of their contract.
I thought that was nuts to begin with, though. You really
Right.
out here trying to hire somebody else that's got a job.
So I was talking to someone earlier, big shout out to Neville Lee, who, he noted that Mike Brown's winning percentage as a coach was higher than Tibbs, which was interesting. And I like that Mike Brown has had successful force with Cleveland, but he really hasn't had a championship caliber team since then. He was sitting on the bench with Golden State. He was at where else was he? He was somewhere else.
San Antonio.
San Antonio on the bench, right. But as head coach, where was he before?
Sacramento.
Was he in Atlanta?
No, I think Orlando. If I'm not mistaken.
No, it wasn't Orlando. No, it wasn't New Orleans.
Because
He was
Nick
down
Miller
south
was in Atlanta.
somewhere. I know.
Was he in Charlotte?
I don't
Yeah,
think it
something
was
like
Charlotte.
that, like southeast.
Right.
something.
But
It
the
was
point
something
was,
like that, though.
in New York, he has the talent, and I think that he has the experience to know how to stay out the way.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, one thing he talked about with coaching LeBron is that there were times when he wanted to do certain things, and LeBron wanted to do others, and he knew how to stay out of the way, and he was able to be successful in that regard. So with the team that they have, Jalen Brunson as your leader, you got Cat on the team, and you got a solid core. I think that where we saw Tibbs not utilize the bench and kind of Tibbs' character as a coach was overshadowing the actual talent he had on the floor, that's not going to happen with Mike Brown.
Listen. I mean, we're gonna always talk about it. I mean, like it's always gonna come up. I mean, a zillion times all next year, whatever. But I do not fault Tibbs for anything. The only reason why we lost that series and didn't go to the chip is because of game one, period. Game one and that miraculous, all that nonsense that happened. We lost that bullshit game to them. That's the only reason. So all this Tibbs bashing and justification for him being gone, I will never co-sign on it, and I don't agree with it. So, okay, we got a good coach. Okay, now it may be in a better situation, but Tibbs deserved to keep his job, bro. Only reason why we didn't go to that is because of that crazy nonsense game one that we lost, bro. That's the reason.
I think Tibbs. I'm not going to say he would have been fired, but I think they were going to remove him no matter what happened. Actually,
I think so too.
Yeah.
Well, let me ask you a question, because let me reflect back. Game one, didn't Jalen Brunson and Cat both foul out?
No.
Or was that game two?
That was game two.
That was game two. They fouled out. Game one was the miraculous shot Halliburton.
No, it was 6 3-pointers by Naismith. It was all of this craziness,
right.
dude.
That's right.
It was the shot that went up in the air, banging in overtime.
And that went to overtime.
It was three things that never happened in NBA history before.
Okay. But game two, Jalen Brunson and Cat both had to sit down early.
Yeah, but we won that game.
Which forced Tibbs to go deeper in the bench, and they won that game.
and we won
Yep.
that game. I'm not
If
talking
they
about
don't go, if Jalen and Cat's not in foul trouble, is it a different situation because you're not utilizing the full scope of what you have?
Listen, Hawk, I will always agree with you. Tibbs didn't and never to utilize his bench. And I think what makes it glaring now is that we saw how effective it was later in the
Yeah.
playoffs
That's
as
the
he
point that I
used
made.
it.
That's the
And
point.
I agree with you. I
Right.
definitely agree with you. No doubt. I agree with you.
Yeah, I think they were going to let him go or move him upstairs to an advisory role, whatever the case may be. I just think his time had come, regardless of what the season outcome.
Mhm.
I think his time had come to an end.
Yeah, I
I,
feel you.
I agree with that. I think, look, I, I'll level with you on this, Cliff. I think that he did an incredible job. I think that sometimes people are a little too unfair with the criticism because at the end of the day, he was the head coach that brought the Knicks more success than they have in what 20 years, I
Mm-hmm.
believe,
Yeah.
25 years. So there's that. But the bench thing, the managing of personalities, like I mean, it's not law. It shouldn't be lost on anyone that Mikal Bridges, who was dubbed Iron Man, came out complaining about his usage, and
Yeah.
it's like as we all know, in any profession where you're managing people, you have to know how to manage personalities and manage personnel. And I think Tibbs kind of hit that wall probably because of his own, for lack of a better term, stubbornness.
Mm-hmm.
He was not gonna capitulate at all. This is how I do things. This is how I've gotten this far.
Right.
And they
Yeah.
was like,
Right.
nah, I
And
love you, Tibbs. I love you as a person, but nah, this is not how it's gonna go. So I say that to say I agree. I think shy of winning a championship, I don't think Tibbs was gonna come back. I want to ask you guys this though. And maybe this is nothing. Maybe I'm creating something with the Knicks with this, but it's going to be interesting to me how, first of all, how the starting lineup is going to look with a healthy Mitchell Robinson and Cat. But more so than that, if they go with that lineup, what does Jordan Clarkson and Josh Hart look like? Because who's the sixth man now?
Got to be Jordan. Got to be Jordan.
See, coach. I was just gonna say gotta be. I was just gonna say it gotta be Josh.
Yeah,
There we go.
it's gonna you're gonna start with Josh, but by the end of the first half of the season, it's gonna be whoever plays the best.
I can see that.
Or they switch up that role as far as bringing that seventh man in quicker, and or tinkering with that lineup. You know what I'm saying? But listen, that's going to be a good problem to have, and I love if they do it that way. I love it.
See, I love Jordan Clarkson. He is a wild card. You don't know what he's going to do, but he's going to get buckets. You don't know how it's going to look. You don't know when it's coming, but he is going to get buckets. And I just think that's ideal coming off the bench, especially in New York. I think he's going to be a fan favorite in New York.
Wait a minute,
the way he plays.
What was your starting five?
I got Josh Hart starting. I got Clarkson coming off the bench.
There you go. So, who was the starter this year at 3?
At 3, it was
it was Mikal and OG.
Right.
And
they had Josh running the 4 because Mitchell Robinson was
yeah. This is what I thought you were talking about, Coach. This is the starting lineup I thought you were talking about. Mitchell, Cat,
yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah,
Brunson, Mikal, and OG. And then those two coming off the bench with Josh first, and then Jordan second, and then whoever we have behind those, that will really solidify the bench. And so you have a really almost starting 6.5. And then
because
you fill in that back 9 or 10. So that's
what's the other guard that plays the point? The other point,
McBride. Deuce.
Well, you had McBride, and then you had your left-handed crazy looking guy. I forget his name.
Cam.
Cam.
Yeah. Yo, his shot is
That
crazy.
dude. I never really liked him, but he was a good Nick this postseason.
He
He
was.
balled
He
this
should have got more
postseason.
time.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. So I mean, like, yeah.
I like what they
He
because what
should
they
have got more
do.
time. Back to Tibbs.
You like their perimeter. You could play around with those lineups.
That's
You
what I'm
really
saying,
could.
Coach.
The reason I asked that is, wait, where did Jordan Clarkson come from? Did he come from Sacramento?
No, Utah.
Oh, he just right. He just came from Utah. Right. The reason I ask this is this, and again, I may be creating this, but this is a new coach. This is not a new regime, but this is a new head coach and a new philosophy that he doesn't necessarily have any loyalty to starting Josh Hart first
That's
in
right.
that off the bench role. And my question is, I don't see Josh Hart being a selfish guy at all. In fact, I think he's the opposite. I think he's a very
Yep.
unselfish player. But with the role that he has and the kind of like reputation for being like that engine, that heart, literally that heart of the team, it's just gonna be interesting. That's just something I'm gonna watch out for, because one thing that New York knows how to do well, and I'm talking about the media, not the Knicks, is amplify shit that doesn't matter. And I could see the Pokes running a back page story where it's like contention in the locker room between Jordan Clarkson and Josh Hart. It's probably bullshit. It probably is. But the media has a good way, or the Daily News also, they have a really good way of doing that. So all I'm saying is let's just watch out for that.
Kai,
I think those two are going to become stars coming off the bench, man. I think New York is going to fall in love with them.
I hope so.
Because one plays really hard and one's just a wild card out there. Like, you got to love that. That's like, it's like they're two New York playground players that just happen to play for the Knicks.
Yeah.
You know, that dude that play hard, and then you got that dude that just is wild out there.
Yeah.
You know, that's New York City basketball.
So JTXP says Tibbs' only success since the Joaquin Noah and D Rose Bulls. So that's
But this was success, though. Why don't we all see that? He got them to a game from the chip where they should have.
But that's what he was saying. And
he was building them.
No, that's what he's saying. This Eastern Conference appearance is the first since that. That's what he was saying. Yeah.
But again, he built up to that. You know what I'm saying? He's still building that. So, but to get back to your point before I lose what I was going to say about where Kai was going with that is, I don't think there's going to be any worries, Kai, because the one thing, and Coach hit on the head, and we all know this, that heart of the team, the hustle of Josh Hart, and that magic of him and Mikal, all those three things are a reason why he's not going to ever lose any playing time. How it adds up in a game, we never know. But it's going to be there in most games because of all those things I mentioned. He's going to; those three are always going to have a sufficient enough playing time together. Period. His hustle and heart is going to be needed. Period. And his hard working, his hard playing is going to be needed. So he's always going to get his minutes, y'all. Always.
Yeah. I want to know what they're going to do with my man PJ Tucker.
That's another wild card, Coach, and that's another piece that's valuable and can be used very, very well.
Yeah,
again, Mike Brown and how he does everything is going to be curious.
Yeah, because PJ Tucker, to me, I thought he was the one that they should have brought in from time to time.
Yeah,
Indiana.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think they had PJ Tucker in the Udonis Haslem last 5 years of the Miami Heat role.
Yeah. See, I still think he got something to give, man.
Yeah, but please correct me if I'm wrong. Didn't PJ get in at some point this year or in the playoffs or late in the season?
I don't remember him getting
remember
him getting the last 2
Was
series.
it late in the season?
Late in the season.
I thought maybe he showed us something. We talked about it, and we were like,
what we were saying was, because there was a lot of mind games being played. Like Tyrese Halliburton was doing the thing where, if the ball got kicked, after somebody scores, he would kind of hold the ball, or he would step beyond the baseline, and he would do those mental things. And I remember us saying, like, yo, you need somebody to balance that out that's notorious for getting in other people's heads, that's a role where you can put PJ Tucker in 5 minutes a game or whatever, just because I remember this vividly because when PJ played with Milwaukee in that series against the Nets, one of the things that he was really effective at was getting under James Harden and KD's skin. Like he was just like a mosquito. Like he was just driving them crazy. He played well too. That was 2021. But even beyond that, the effective thing about him was that he was just like a mosquito. He was getting under everybody's skin.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's what the
And-
Knicks should have used with that series, especially with the Pacers, because it was a lot of that mental stuff, man. After game one, it was a lot of that.
And wouldn't they have been very successful using the mosquito in that fourth quarter when all that nonsense was going on? I mean, Naismith.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
you stop any one of those events, and it just doesn't happen. The whole series is different. So he just didn't utilize any. I mean, you know, I get the criticism and his lack of whatever, but Tibbs was Tibbs. That unfortunately, that's who he was.
That's who he is.
You know,
That's who he is.
That's who he is.
And you know what? Sometimes in coaching, and this is the sad part of coaching, you get to that point where you're going to die on that hill. Like who you are, you just going to die there, and nothing is going to change it. The score not going to change it. The moment, nothing is going to change who you are, and that's what happened with Tibbs. That's what happened with Tibbs.
Well, Coach, let me ask you a question as a coach. I think most people do that because they've gotten and had success doing what they do as many times. So it's just like, you know, that's the justification.
He got a chip. Did he coach to a chip?
Nah.
No, he has not. And that's what will make you change. And I went through it early in my coaching career. You know, I had a certain philosophy of many times going with the better offensive player, you know, and I learned you get right there to that point, to that Tibbs point, you know, whether it's that semifinals or, you know, that finals, and you're like, you know what? That was on me. Got to make the change. Tibbs just was too stubborn to make the change, and he should have.
Yeah.
You know, but hey, I'm not gonna. He did, and he makes a lot of money, so he'll be okay.
He'll
He'll
be
be okay.
Yeah, he will.
Right. I mean, Mike Brown, he comes with a championship pedigree. He's one of those guys too that he's, like you guys said, he spent up time on the bench in San Antonio, spent time on the bench in Golden State. He's been around championship players and championship coaches and championship situational basketball that I think I don't know what's going to happen, but at least it's better than it could have been.
It's not. Listen, it's not a downgrade. Okay,
it's not a downgrade.
No,
and I think I think it's certainly an upgrade. How much? I'm just very curious as to see how he's going to use the players because we got a squad. We do.
Yeah,
we got a squad.
Absolutely. So the Lakers got DeAndre Ayton today.
They got Ayton today, 34 mil.
I like that pickup.
Do you?
I do. I like DeAndre Ayton.
Where was he, in Detroit?
Portland.
No, he was in Portland.
Right.
Yeah, they sent him up to no man's land. But I like DeAndre Ayton. I liked him in Phoenix. I think he got a raw deal out there, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
I think he did too. But Coach, what I'm hearing, and I don't know if y'all hearing the same thing, but he's a absolute cancer in the locker room. He's just
that's what I've heard.
So I mean,
when he want to show up,
he's just a trifling dude. But again, well, that's what I'm hearing. I mean, but pairing him with LeBron, you know, the professionalism and all that stuff. Hopefully, it'll rub off. But I've always liked his game, though. I liked. You know, he's a former number one pick. I mean, you can't really.
And I think it's one of those things of, and I always say this: if you
play with LeBron and you don't learn something about how to take care of your body and how to act professionally, there's really no hope for you.
Yeah,
Whatever you get, you deserve. So this should have a positive effect.
I
Um,
agree.
we'll see. But I
We'll
like the
see.
move for the Lakers because hey, another 7-footer, need that. This 7-footer actually can score beyond just catching a lob. So I like it. I like it. It doesn't push the Lakers into the upper echelon of the West.
Nah,
Um,
Texas, the state of Texas is too strong.
yeah, the state of
The state
Texas
of
is
Texas is what
ridiculous.
California was a couple
Yeah,
years ago, man. There's
yeah,
too many good teams.
yeah. It's scary what's going on in Texas, and there's still some moves to be made in Texas.
Yes,
Houston,
yep.
San Antonio, and
Yeah,
Dallas.
And
yep.
Dallas, yep.
Still some
And,
moves to be made.
and Dallas. So I saw a fantasy situation. LeBron to Dallas. How would that look? How would that pan out if that was to happen? I know Coach would love that.
Well,
Well,
Anywhere but LA is what I mean.
yeah. No, I love that. And for some reason, remember they said this early on. Like this was the Nico's like grand scheme before they got the number one
Coach,
pick.
to be honest with you, I don't know if they said that, but I think we said that. When all this thing went down and we were talking smack about LeBron and what could happen and rejoining Kyrie, we had a full show about it. And Hawk, you need to research which show, but we specifically talked about it.
That
And
he was
not
going to
only
end up
that,
in Dallas.
and not only that, when they brought it up in Dallas, when they started talking about it in Dallas, a few weeks later, we talked about it on the show how they got it from us.
From us.
Yeah.
So this is all sort of coming full circle. And what's
That's
crazy is that there is crazy speculation that LeBron is going to be traded.
Yes.
Seriously, I mean, like they're thinking it's a legit possibility. And I really think besides Cleveland, that's the only place he'd go.
I
nobody,
like it so
nobody
much.
wants him.
Huh?
I like it so much though that I like it.
No,
too,
everybody wants him. Everybody just doesn't want him for price.
They don't want to trade for him right now because they don't want to give up. You basically get him for a year, maybe two. You don't want to, give away the farm for somebody you're renting. It's a rental, short term,
Right.
But I love the possibility of him in Dallas. The only issue is Kyrie wouldn't be there the full year.
Yeah.
Don't matter.
So
In the playoffs with Kyrie and AD,
they can make a
Cooper
run.
Flag,
Well, see, I think you got to give up Cooper Flag.
you got to give up Cooper. That's right. That's right.
You got to give up Cooper Flag.
Well, because all right. So I want to. When you said that was LeBron's scheme the whole time, or excuse me, Nico Harrison's scheme the whole time, I would say that may be the NBA's scheme the whole time. And I'm gonna tie this to what's going on with betting scandals, what's going on with what player was it that said that they were glad that the NBA was classified as an entertainment.
Yeah.
Right, like the inkling that everything is fixed. How Luka got sent to LA for AD because of the owner's potential want to go to Vegas or to be able to set up a gambling operation alongside the team. Had that conflicts in Texas, so it was a whole big thing. Like all these rumors, as much as we might think they're just rumors, and it seems to be an ounce of truth to all these rumors. The Diddy trial shows us what I'm talking about. But
well, I think that the front offices and the governors and all that of the NBA are paying attention to, for one, if you just look at the aerial view, WWE and Shah Khan is still the biggest moneymaker in sports entertainment. I mean, they make money hand over fist with WWE content. And, everybody knows that stuff is heavily scripted. But, having a loose script or at least a outline what you want to do to ensure attention,
Outline. That's a great.
Well,
I'm
listen,
not I'm not ruling that out.
the most it would be is an outline. To say
Right.
any of these things are fixed games are fixed, that is
No,
impossible.
I don't
Now,
think that.
if you talk about it isolated in situations where a player is doing certain things, sure, that could happen. But to fix a game, like the NBA say, okay, this game is gonna. There's too many things that would have to happen. You know what I mean? It's
Right.
just no. I don't. I now an outline and or what Hawk is talking about with owners getting together and orchestrating that Luca and all that. Sure, I can certainly see that. Sure, but fixing games where outcomes and no,
No,
I
I
will. I
don't think
will
that
say
either.
this.
don't
I
buy
will
that.
say this. I've seen some clips of Malik Beasley.
Ooh, I wanted to go there. Go ahead.
He might have thrown that Detroit series.
My nigga.
He
That's
might
so
have.
trash, yo.
He might have thrown that Detroit series, and he might have tanked LA's chances for competing
Yeah.
because
Yeah,
they highlighted how somebody said how his 3-point percentage was like top in the league. Then he goes to LA,
and then it just went
at the bottom,
down.
he just tanked,
Yeah.
and then he goes to Milwaukee, and then he's back in the top again.
Yeah.
So
I will say when I was looking at those clips, I'm like, whoa, there
Right.
could be something to this.
Well, again, when we talking about team accolades and team success and individual success being hinged on team success, when you factor in these types of situations with Malik Beasley, where you have somebody unbeknownst to everybody else, or in some cases known by everybody else, when you see Giannis blocking that shot at the end of the game, and then he gave Malik Beasley the shimmy.
Yep.
He knew what was going on. There's a clip of him on the bench watching. I forget what this the score differential was and what team they were playing, but somebody's at the free throw line. No, they hit the what do you call it? The point spread went down by 2, and then somebody went to the line and got it back within the point spread. He was like, he's all relieved, but everybody around him is all relieved too. Like they're all on him, like knowing that there's money on
What's
him.
going down? Yeah.
Yeah, like so it's like Draymond Green early this year.
Yes.
That's
What
another one.
happened? What happened?
The same.
Draymond just mentioned it in during the timeout or whatever about the point spread.
You can see that they read his mouth, and he's talking about how somebody was playing to match the point spread. He was like, "We know what this is. 5 points on the point spread." Like whatever he said, everybody was like, "Yo, Draymond is talking about players betting on games."
Yeah.
You got what's that? NJ Michael what's his name? Porter.
Porter
Porter,
Jr.,
his brother.
His cousin or brother or whatever that was. That happened in Toronto. So it's like a lot of these situations where players are betting. You can't tell me that they're not confiding in each other, letting them know, sharing information.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I definitely think there's.
I mean, they're really. I believe that they may be now. When I think of and you guys are thinking about it completely different because I'm certainly not thinking about it like you're thinking about it. I would definitely say players are betting, but the players, when I'm talking about them betting, I'm not talking about them betting that and with their actions are going to influence the game, and that's why they're betting. I'm talking about them betting on other games or whatever. I'm not talking about them betting on whether or not they're going to score 20. So when they get to 19, they miss any shot, shot.
And that's what.
When you look at the Detroit game that just passed, they hit the 3-point and he fumbled. I was telling my wife when that happened. I was like, "Yo, that's like funny. That don't happen.
That don't happen.
If I
don't happen. He threw that game, bro. He threw that game.
You gotta send me this clip and what you talking about, because I haven't seen none of the things y'all seeing. I mean,
put it up right now.
You gotta check it
I'm
out,
just
bro.
talking about players betting on other games or whatever, but betting on games and directly and influencing them.
Hey Cliff, when you see these clips, it's gonna change your mind. Because I was with you. I always believe they bet
on the games. I believe they bet on themselves, not to necessarily throw the game, but they betting on themselves. Yeah, I'm going to get 23 and 9,
Okay,
you
yeah.
know.
But
But
throwing games?
this dude, the way he missed this ball, I don't know if I've ever seen since the kid maybe was like 8 years old and missed a pass. Like that just don't happen. He missed this pass and he had been balling. Like he's the guy that you go to when you need a 3 to win the game.
And we're just thinking about individual bets, like maybe he has.
And you
some
talk
type
about the
of
pass
ticket
that went
grab.
through his hand?
Yes. Yeah.
Now, hold on. Wait a minute now. Did I miss something? We've determined that he had money on that game?
They're investigating him
Investigating.
for gambling. He's in debt, and they started putting clips together that could be evidence towards that.
Because actually, I mean, it's funny because I certainly have money on that game. But when it happened, no. But when it happened and I was talking smack to a friend of mine from Vegas, I'll be like, it'll be some trifling ass if it came out that cat had money because he was broke. I made that comment. He definitely needs to be out of league if that is found out about.
I don't know if you guys can see this. If this is, let me see if I can expand this.
Yeah, man.
Let's see.
Clip, I'm right there with you. Until I saw these clips, I was like, they're not doing that.
Yeah, man. You see them clips, it makes you rethink all of it. It's like, word?
Malik Beasley has allegedly been betting on NBA games. Here is what people believe that proves it. In a game versus the Clippers when Beasley was on the T-Wolves, Clips were up 9 with 5 seconds left. Beasley decides to sprint down the court, cutting the lead to 7 with seconds left. The spread of this game was 8.5. Next, it doesn't help in April of this year. Beasley tweeted out from his own account, quote, "Ant, you got to get 7 threes to beat me tonight." Why in the world would an NBA player tweet this out before a game? Or when Giannis blocked a Beasley shot in the final second of a game that was over. He was mad at Giannis for no reason. Did this ruin his parlay? And remember the last play of the season for Beasley versus the Knicks? Beasley misses an easy pass from Cunningham to possibly tie the game. It's so suspicious now. Beasley has made over $53 million in his career. Why does he need to gamble? So do you think he was betting on games, or is this all just a coincidence?
Ooh, yeah. If they link that Knicks, that last pass, that's going to be because that everybody was dumbfounded there, bro. Everybody was like, what the? Oh, wow.
Yeah, I just knew. Not only did I think he was going to get a shot off right there, I thought he was going to knock it down.
Bro, there was a game against Indiana. I don't know if it was a playoff game, but there's a play where he's Dean Halliburton at the 3-point line, and Halliburton gives a little fake. Nick Beasley was like, he let him go by 1 second, 2 seconds, and he turned around like he was trying to catch up. Like, nah, nigga, you cheating.
Yeah.
You out there fixing games.
He looked really suspicious, and I don't know if he can talk his way out of this one.
It's gonna be interesting, man.
So, whether it's just players doing things on their own accord or in coordination with higher ups, he looks crazy. He's been arrested.
I think it's their own accord. I think it's just players getting caught up or whatever because now it's just so much access to everything, and it's just so much money in everything. Where these cats are getting, I'm sure, approached from all different angles on whatever. So
yeah, but it's like when you do it so freely like that, it's because you're seeing other people do it so freely.
Yeah.
Like, leadership means a lot. And I'm sure players aren't the only ones hedging or being pressured. Or, we already know what Tim Donaghy, his story, and how the referees at times have allegedly been in cahoots with the bookmakers and gambling houses and what have you.
Well, I know what's my man Scott. What's the official?
Foster.
Scott Foster.
Yeah, when SGA on that one bucket he had where he took like 4 or 5 steps in front of him. right in front. I'm like, oh, come on, you can't be serious. It's no way.
On the baseline.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes. I'm like, come on, man.
And it was
This
a
is out of
foul.
hand.
And he gave him a
Yeah,
he
like
took like 4
everything about
steps,
that play.
leaned in, gave him a shimmy, and then whoop, no foul call.
He ran back to the corner to get that shot off. I'm like,
Yeah.
yo, you got to dribble at some point, you know.
And Scott Foster is notoriously the referee you hire when you want to extend series.
Yes. Yeah.
That's his reputation.
Yep.
So, you know, I mean, it's all entertainment according to the NBA.
Yeah.
And I've been hating ESPN ever since they started doing those bet
ESPN
segments.
bet.
Yeah, I'm like, yo, this is disgusting to me, man. You know,
Yeah.
and I know there's a place for all of this, but you the two are intertwined too closely now.
It's
And-
super blurred.
Yeah.
You're gonna like we just talked about it, but you know, you have the owner of the Dallas Mavericks who wanted to put a casino either right inside or right next to the stadium, or you know, Vegas, they're gonna get an NBA team at some point. We know it, so that there's gonna be that. And come on, man, it's inevitable.
Well, listen. It's early. It's early on in the sports gaming industry. We know
Super
it's going to be a
early, yeah.
lot worse and a lot craziness is going to happen
Yeah.
before
Oh,
there's
yeah.
any type of real like stabilization of this, because it's just too easy and it's too much
Yep.
money involved now.
And you know
what
it's not
I'm
gonna be no
saying?
regulation in this administration.
Yeah, too many outlets.
That's right. Good point, Kai.
Everybody gonna get their money right now, Kai.
Yeah.
All right.
So speaking of this administration in reference to sports, little segue. I saw an article that was saying that Walton, the guy who bought the Lakers, who also owns Walker, excuse me, who also owns the Dodgers, and is he a partner in the Commanders situation?
Guggenheim Group. Is the Guggenheim
Group,
Commanders?
yeah.
Okay, that's different. So
Okay.
Walker, I guess is a large stakeholder in the Geo Group, who has the contract for the ice facilities.
Yeah.
And it's not even that it's a large percentage. His percentage is just worth so much money.
Oh, okay.
Like his percentage, I don't even know if he's in like double digit percentage wise of ownership, but
whatever
it's
it is.
worth, I want to say it's like worth billions of dollars, even that small percentage, because the contract, just with maybe the DOJ is like nine figures.
Damn.
You know, so
That's crazy.
So they were questioning, his relationship with this Geo entity.
Yeah.
When you consider the Dodgers, them not speaking up with the ice raids, with the immigration problem, especially in California, in Los Angeles, they have a huge Latino following. Their number one demographic, I understand, is that community. And they kind of stayed silent. They eventually stepped up in some way, shape, or form. We don't know if it's because of the criticism that they've received, but
they gave $1 million.
Damn, I'm about to go over here and make billions. Here a little crumb.
Well, it's like here, and I'm going to give you another parallel. So Target just recently gave the National Baptist Convention,
$300,000.
Missionary Baptist Convention and Church of God in Christ $300,000. Where they make upwards to $7 billion. It's over $7 billion
a year,
and they gave
on black people alone,
and they gave $300,000, which is less than $10 per church. So it's like some of this stuff is just unbelievable.
Right. And whatever that organization is does not represent black people. We don't know who voted them in. We don't know none of that. And I was happy to see Roland Martin come out and speak loudly against that. Jamal Bryant,
who's a pastor of a Baptist church, actually.
he's big in the AME church, and get to your. That's just totally. I hate hearing stuff like that, because I hate when you have such a strong organization of Reverend Al Sharpton and Pastor Jamal Bryant, who are leaders, religious and otherwise, economic leaders, and then you just dangle 300,000 to this other group. I'm not familiar with this other Baptist group, but you just dangle some crumbs at them and they jump at it, and it makes all. I mean, I know it's not a monolith, all that, but it's like, really, bro, for 300, at least
300.
300 million.
Yeah. Well, let me add some context. Target, after the George Floyd uprisings, made a commitment of, I think, like it was like $5 billion or $2 billion over 10 years. We're going to invest $2 billion into Black initiatives, businesses, give backs, support of community ventures, what have you. And when Trump got in, they repealed that commitment. They went back on that. And then, and that's what the whole "we not dealing with Target" was all about.
Right.
We boycotting. So when you're talking about $2 billion versus 300,000, that's such a backward move. But we factor in selfishness, greed. It's just a sad state of affairs, and they do not represent Black people. They are representing
at
themselves all. Not even well.
But it just comes to show that at the end of the day, it really at this point doesn't matter what side of the coin you are with any of these issues. It's all about the money. Yes, it's just all about the money.
But for $300,000, was it all about the money? Because it's not a lot of money.
Well, for them, that was enough.
But not even. Not even. Like it's record deals with more money than that, bro. Like, it's not even.
But that just goes to show you how
it's no money
for some crumbs.
It's for some crumbs. It's just,
that's the sad part.
Not even a crumb. That's like, let me take this napkin and just dab you.
It's just not knowing your value, taking away any negotiating power that one might have had. It's gone. And the flip side with the Dodgers owner, he's like, you know what? I'm making hundreds of millions, billions. Here, take this million. I don't even care about that. I just spent $10 billion, so this million is nothing.
$10 billion for 83%, mind you, because the buses maintain 17. That's 17%. Crazy. They sold 83% of the company for $10 billion.
Yeah,
good for them, man.
Right. Crazy.
And don't get it twisted. That $10 billion, whatever they sell for, is going to be, by the time they sell, it's going to be astronomical as well. Because we all remember when Jerry Buss had bought the Lakers, and we thought that was astronomical.
Yeah,
and
they thought he was a fool. Everybody thought he was a fool paying that amount.
So to tie this back to the original conversation, I think that's even more reason why the Cooper Flag for LeBron James trade makes sense to me.
Oh yeah,
because Cooper Flag and Luka Doncic and maybe Joker.
Yeah, in LA. Now here's the other part. Here's the other part of all that. Remember, Nico's a Nike guy. LeBron, we all know LeBron's a Nike guy. Cooper is New Balance, and if y'all know the background of New Balance and who they support, that's not going to sit well, particularly with a Nike guy. So I could see this all. It makes sense. Cooper going to LA, apparently with this new ownership group, makes sense. So yeah, it's a lot of stories here.
It's gonna be a great off season, man.
Yeah.
We gonna be ready rock for the beginning of the season. But I know coach is ready. But Hakim and Kai, summer league get ready to start. Don't sleep on that. There's some good basketball get ready to start.
This weekend. It's gonna be some real good basketball.
Yeah. So
is it this weekend already? Jeez.
Yeah. It starts on a Saturday, I think. So we got a good month of see what these young boys look like.
And you know what they're doing in the summer league like never before. They're starting to They're starting to pitch the matchups early on. Who's going against?
Well, we gotta remember, cats. It's a million for the winner. So these cats go at it.
Yeah,
They go at it, and now they have, like, I know they have the Utah Summer League, and then they have the Sacramento Summer League, and they may have a few others, but that's
then
all.
they end up in Vegas, I think.
Yeah, that's all
Yeah.
to gear up for the Vegas, the big one.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a big event. It's definitely good basketball.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to Cooper Flag, Dylan.
Right.
I can't wait to see Ace Bailey. Hey, I wanted Clarkson to stay in Utah because I was going to tune into every one of Utah's game with Ace Bailey and Jordan Clarkson because they were going to be bugging on the court.
Danny Ainge know what he's doing, man.
Yeah, yeah. I just knew that was going to be something. But I think Danny Ainge is setting up Ace Bailey to be Jason Tatum for Utah. I think that's what he sees in him. I really believe that's what he sees.
He did it with Tatum, and we saw what Donovan Mitchell did for being in Utah and building his his whole profile.
Danny Ainge sees that in Ace Bailey. Does Ace Bailey see himself in Utah for the stretch, for the long run, the long haul?
I think he gonna ball. Oh, for the long haul, I don't know.
For the long run,
Don't get it twisted. Hawk, have you been to Utah?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I've been to Salt Lake City.
Park City or Salt Lake?
Salt Lake City.
So, well, all I'm saying is it's you can get it's a great place. First of all, it's beautiful.
Oh,
too.
you can go ski. Oh, you go skiing crazy.
But you can get
I heard the slopes is crazy out there.
A lot of snow.
You can get caught up. You can get caught up and you get very
boy Karl Malone.
Scandinavian looking out that motherfucker.
Hey, be a superstar.
Yeah,
around
I
a lot of
think
nice
he's going to do
people.
well. Yeah, I think Ace is going to do well because he wants to be a star.
I think he will do well too.
Yeah, Now the question is, will they accept him as a star?
The fan base?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Look at Ant-Man. If Ant-Man can get accepted in Minnesota,
like
Ace Bailey can get accepted in Salt Lake City.
I don't know.
No, I feel like Utah's clamoring for relevancy, man, because they've always been pretty relevant.
That's
From
true. Stockton and Malone
to Donovan. Like, they haven't been relevant for the past at least 5 years.
Andre Karolinko.
Yeah, they even had the
87.
All-Star game out there, and it was like,
Well, they got a good base. They got some young marketing.
Yeah, they got the marketing is
he's
nice.
a beast.
Yeah,
Yeah.
He's legitimate.
And
so
what's the they got the other guard out there too. What's the guard's name?
Yeah, John Collins is still there, right?
Is it Sexton?
Colin Sexton. That's what I'm thinking.
Colin Sexton. And there's someone else too that's young.
They got the guy from Atlanta.
They got some young talent.
John Collins.
John Collins. Yeah,
John
they got
Collins.
John Collins.
Oh,
But I was
the
thinking
center,
of
okay.
Sexton. The problem is they're in the West. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? I don't.
But they can build slow because nobody's checking for them.
You got
That's
OKC. Houston's gonna be a beast this year, and San Antonio should be a step up. But everybody else, I don't know.
I think the West will pretty much be the same next year as it was this year.
OKC, Minnesota.
But that was tough.
Yeah, it was tough. I'm just saying that I don't think there's going to be much change. Dallas is the one to me, depending on what happens with Kyrie coming back. That's the one.
Well, we still got a lot of free agents to go. Like, is Chris Paul going to go there? Is Chris? Because if Chris goes there, or is he going to go to the Lakers? They said he wants to.
I think he's going to Dallas because Dinwiddie just signed with somebody else today. Dinwiddie left Dallas. Yeah,
He's
he
Orlando.
left Dallas.
Is
I don't
Orlando?
know who it was. I don't remember who it was. But
Orlando's
he
gonna
left.
be nice.
Wasn't who Dallas get from? They was I guess a flop of a trade. They said they gave away a bunch of picks and for the boy from Memphis, Desmond Bain, went to Orlando.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
And I like that for them because they needed another shooter.
Oh, then when he went to the Hornets.
Okay, so you're gonna be playing with LaMelo.
Yeah. And
Interesting.
Kneppel.
Interesting.
What do you think Dame's going to end up doing?
Chilling.
You don't think he's going to sign with anybody before next year?
Nope. I think he's gonna wait till the All-Star break or the trade deadline, whenever, and that's when he's gonna
probably
choose his team.
Wait to see how his rehab going. Wait to see what type of timetable he's on, and then choose the best thing. Now, and it's perfect for him because he's still getting his chips.
He get
from
paid
the Bucks.
no matter what.
23 million a year for 5 years.
So he'll be able to basically choose from any team in the league. I hope the Knicks somehow get him.
Right. So let me ask you a question: is it a sit and wait till you're 100%, or is it just sit and wait until you see how things pan out?
No, you sit and wait until I think you sit and wait and to see how long you're gonna, your rehab is gonna be, and then you just and you're just dissecting the league. You're seeing who needs what. You're seeing where you want to go. You evaluating all of that.
Yep.
Yeah, I agree. Well, I'll make that decision in the summer when you know what it's going to be.
And more importantly, how long it's going to take for you to get back. When is your realistic, and if you can come back, because if you can go to a spot and you can come back and be 80% and get them over the hump, Dame will probably jump all over that. I mean, he's ring chaser. So I think it's going to all depend on, his rehab.
And he can do whatever for the minimum.
Exactly.
He doesn't need a dime.
So he can, So that's why that's going to be, particularly if he is healing fast, that's going to be the thing, right? At the end of the season, where is Dame going? Where is Dame going?
Just to throw back, Nectar, New Jersey says compounding interest on the Lakers' investment has paid off. And we know what investment that was.
Of course.
Ace Bailey is legit from Rutgers, and JTXP says the Mormons party hard.
Oh, they do. Don't get it twisted. They do. That was my second point.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, they go.
Wear protection, young man. Wear protection.
Yeah.
Mess around, be like Ant-Man with a bunch of. It's crazy.
Yeah.
All right. So what else is out there that we ain't touched on? Anything else with the draft?
Hey, Kai, since you're wearing that beautiful Brooklyn Nets shirt, can you explain why the Nets, I think they took 5 players that all played the same position?
Yeah, they took a lot of guards. I don't really get why we went so guard heavy. Here's what I think, and this is purely being optimistic about it. I think Sean Marks. So let me say this first. So Jordy Fernandez, I know all of us, Kay, talked about how it was outrageous, how he said he wants to take 43s a game, and he wants to play this European style of basketball. And I think that the squad that we had last year, that just wasn't it. I mean, we had like Dennis Smith, and we had Cam and both Cams. Those guys, they hoop. They play American basketball. They don't play the style they want to play. So I think the hope for Sean Marks is, look, I'm going to get you 5 guys that can play the way you want to play. I think one guy is like a Russian guy. There's a French guy. The Wolf is from Minnesota or Michigan, American kid. Yeah. He may be able to fit the style. So I think that's the draft part of it. We have a hell of a lot of money and picks and cap space. And I think Sean Marks thinks that he can pull off a trade to bring somebody that can play a European style of basketball, be it Giannis, be it Jokic, be it somebody like that. Now, you put Jokic in the mix with these guys and a Cam Thomas, and you at least have a top 6 potential in this East Coast, in this Eastern Conference. You put yourself in top 6 potential if you bring a Jokic. You bring a Giannis, you could as well. This on its face is like, it doesn't move the needle. But I have enough faith in Sean Marks being from the Greg Popovich tree that this is just the beginning of what he's trying to work out. I think it's a plan
Okay.
here, and I
Okay.
think they're not overwhelming names. We don't know who these guys are. A lot of these guys
It's
that he's picking.
well, it's a collection of assets that he can move later, Kai. But you know what though? The one thing they are the best passers in the draft. These are the 5
Yes,
best passers in the draft. So
exactly.
he'll be able to use them as pieces at some point, but certainly get to that European style, the perfect fit, and then maybe he can package 2 of them. But these are the 5 best passers in the draft. So I mean, that's the one thing he did lock up. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
it'll be
I saw.
and I'm confident that at least it seems like there's a plan. I'd rather them have a plan, and who knows? It's a drive, so it's a crapshoot. They may not hit. You got 5 players, so one at least should hit, but they might not hit on none. But I'd rather take that and say, you know what, he was working on a plan and it didn't work out talent wise, than to him to just pick a bunch of people that get in the gym together and they can't do nothing. Like it's no cohesion at all. That's worse.
Mm. Yeah.
I saw
And it looks like positionless basketball, which is also very European. It definitely looks like that, because taking all the guys that are kind of in the same height, class, same position. It was like, okay, you just want a team of everybody between 6'7" and 6'9" and can just play, and that's very European, very European.
Speaking of Europeans, I saw a post that said Joker would end up in Miami for 2027.
Interesting.
Yeah, it was like that. Like that's almost a bet. Like Joker's going to be in Miami.
well, I mean, I can certainly see that happen. Riles is going to pull off something soon, and I see the Joker. If something will happen in the next couple of years, it'll be like the same situation Giannis is in. He fulfilled his obligation. He got them a chip. Now he's like he wants to get it in a solid, better organization because I don't think Giannis gonna be by season start. Giannis gonna be somewhere else.
Yeah, I agree.
I had that debate earlier today with Neville, and he swore that Giannis wasn't the type of player to bounce around and chase chips. And I hate that term, by the way. I hate that shit. Chase rings, chase chips. It's like, yo, if your organization is not going to bring people there that can help you get to that point, he's won one already, no doubt. But how committed is ownership to, chase that ring themselves? And then, as we talked about, what like behind the scenes with the owners and the NBA and the league, and when you factor all these things in, putting that weight on someone's shoulders, especially when their legacy is hinged on being able to win a championship, the whole concept of chasing chips to me is unfair.
I agree, because the game is not so much about chasing, but you should always want to compete for a chip. That's why you play the game, to compete for a chip. And if your organization is not going to put you in that position, then you're only playing for the money. And that gets old quickly. So
I think Giannis is fed up with that organization. I don't know much about
That's
the
what I
ownership.
think.
Yeah, I agree.
They do a lot of tech stuff, I believe, whatever. But the way they did boy's father, what's his name, the coach last year in the middle of the season, Adrian
Dantley. I mean, not Adrian Dantley. Adrian Griffith. Sorry.
Adrian Griffith. Yes.
The way they did A. Griffin was dirty.
Yes.
Bringing in Doc Rivers like that, I think that was terrible. A lot of people, including Carmelo Anthony, was disgusted with the way they just did Dame. I feel like Giannis is just done. Man. I think he's done with that organization. I think he wants to leave. I think he wants to get out of there. And I think that they're just, whoever's in the front office over there is just. And didn't they? Who's the coach now? Is it Budenhauser?
No, Doc.
No, it's Doc Rivers.
Doc Rivers.
And it was intimated that Giannis is the one who caused that firing of A. Griffin.
Yes.
Griffin.
Yes.
And he was the one not really seeing eye to eye with the head coach, so the ownership kind of, capitulated to Giannis.
Okay, that changes that. That changes that statement. Okay,
Right.
man, I was off base
But
with that one.
looking at what happened to Dame and
Yeah,
looking at the pieces that they have, it's like, okay, do I really want to go further with this team when I'm going to be looking to re-up and get a bigger bag? And how, what type of investment can we really make in the team here? And who wants to go play in Milwaukee?
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I just think the whole Milwaukee thing is over with.
And
They
the
lucked
team
up
is
and won
gutted.
one. Yeah.
Yeah.
They won one, and that's it. It's
Drew
over.
is gone. Chris Middleton is gone.
It's gone.
PJ is gone. Dame came and left now. Like what he got to stick around for?
Yeah, it's like, all right, get up out of there, man. Go to Miami, go to New York, go to LA, go somewhere, but get out of there.
Yeah,
Get out of
absolutely.
there.
All right, what else is going on in the sports world we need to touch? What's up with the NFL? Anything worth talking about?
I wish Kay was on here to talk about a couple of those Steelers trades.
Yeah, they got Ramsey. I mean, that defense is looking shored up a little bit. I mean, I think if somehow the Steelers get one playmaker and or someone step up, they right there, yo. They right there. Because Tomlin gonna get you 8, and they may if they get to 10, 9 or 10, well, Tomlin gonna get you 9. They get to 10 or 11, they right there. So I like what the Steelers are doing.
And I
Aaron
think they're
Rodgers.
doing a good job. I still
Yeah.
think they setting my man up, though.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll see, but I think we'll see a very slow start from Aaron Rodgers. I think that I just don't, I've seen enough of him in the last 4 or 5 years to know that he's not MVP Aaron Rodgers. He's not that guy no more. So
Right.
he may be a step up from Russell Wilson and Justin Fields prior. Is he really enough to do damage in anything less than a championship? Does that really save Tomlin's job?
Especially in that division.
That division is tough.
Yeah, Ravens, the Bengals, and the Browns.
Yeah.
Go Shador.
Yeah. Yep.
Let's see what are the Bengals going to do on defense. I understand they made a big investment on the receivers, but
They're not playing defense. They just outscoring people.
they playing Phoenix Suns.
Which is why they're
and
vulnerable.
Tony Ball.
What you
They
saying?
just
I said, which is why they're vulnerable. I mean, if they lose a couple early season games, Pittsburgh is right there because it's just a matter with Pittsburgh. If they can finish second, they good. Nobody's going to beat Baltimore in that division. Cincinnati seems like they're going to be good, but because they have no defense, if they lose a couple of games where Pittsburgh win it, there's third place for you. Because I don't think Cleveland's going to be that good. I don't think. I think that they may be around 500, but I think they're battling for second place in that division, and it's between the Steelers and the Bengals.
Yep.
How them boys looking? Any news?
I don't have high hopes, but I don't think we're going to be terrible. I'm very, very, very curious and interested to see how Shoddy coaches this team. I think there's a hint of a different type of culture seeping in. I'd like to see it. And I'm very curious to see what they do with Michael Parsons if they're going to wait. They should sign him now because if they wait to after TJ Watt and after that kid from Cincinnati, it's going to be astronomical. One of these teams should be the first one to sign one of these cats, and I hope Jerry is smart enough to do it. If he can get it before those two, because who's ever the third one out of those 3 cats, they're gonna be the 50 mil a year, bro. Right now they're almost at 40, 45, which is insane.
He needs to make that deal sooner than later.
Sooner rather than later.
Because Cincinnati has no choice.
They have no choice, and TJ Watt can get signed.
Yeah.
Neither. To be honest with you, neither one of these 3 have a choice.
Right.
because you know Michael's going to get signed. Steelers have no choice, and Cincinnati have no choice. So I'm hoping Jerry is smart enough to be the first one to do it.
Yeah. Set the market, Jerry. Set the market.
Yeah.
What else is popping? Do we cover just about anything to baseball?
Mets falling apart.
Mets sliding, yeah. Mets
Falling
sliding.
apart.
Oh wow.
I think they lost like 9 in a row or something crazy like that.
What about the Yankees? Still first?
They really can't beat the Braves, man.
And they lost the first of a doubleheader today, so hopefully they win tonight. But
Damn.
and the Yankees having a terrible June as well. I mean, had a terrible June as well. They under 500, but they're still in first place, but only by like a half a game. So yeah, both New York teams have a terrible June.
Detroit is looking crazy. Like they getting
Juan
better
Soto.
and better.
Does he regret going to the Mets?
He's playing better recently, but yeah, I'm sure he's regretting it.
Yeah.
His bank account not though.
I mean, he was gonna get, a bag just about as close to it. But with success, him and Aaron Judge back to back just alleviates a lot of pressure off his back.
Yeah, he needs Francisco Lindor and Starling Marte to step up. I mean, the Mets are the Mets, man. We were having the same discussion about what they're going to be this time last year, and then they came and were like a game or two away from the World Series last year. So I think when we come back in August, we'll see what the Mets really are, honestly.
Yeah, man. Throw coach JP. Meanwhile, the Knicks. Peace out to you. Shout out. We talked about the Knicks earlier. Also got Cinnabar, Mixed Vision, Joni Voice. Oh, what up, Joan? Spinny B. Peace out to you. Those out on Instagram checking us out. But I think we covered all the bases.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man. So I guess 199. This is the finale. This is it.
We come back with episode 200, right?
We'll come back with episode 200. We got to figure out how we're gonna launch that. What we're gonna do special to celebrate 200. But yeah, man, it's the summertime. And
I'm saying a live show from the HBCU Classic.
Hey, I like that.
I like that. That sounds like a great pitch, Coach. All right, Ty Will, get on your business.
Let's do it. That's a phone call.
Yeah, man. Yeah, big shout out to Wes. Big shout out to KG. Big shout out to everybody out there on social media that stays locked in with us. JTXP, no doubt. This is Mad IZM Sports episode 199. We're going to line it up. I mean, who knows? We might do something short, during Summer League. WNBA is going on.
Yeah.
I tried to get Do-It-All to jump on and talk about the Michael Bibbins under 13 tournament we have in Westside Park.
That would have been dope. Big shout out to my brother Do-It-All from the Mighty Lords of the Underground, West Ward Councilman, doing big things. Of course, we're getting ready for 24 Hours of Peace, September 5th and 6th out there in the West Ward, Newark, New Jersey, Brick City, stand up. And we're going to come back with episode 200, something strong. We'll let y'all know what it is. This is Mad IZM Sports, and I guess we out of here.
Peace,
gentlemen. Peace.
See y'all on the